Welcome to the Vol Bros, presented by the Ooltewah Club. My name is Evan. This is my brother Ruston, and we are two Vol Bros who are actually bros in real life. And we are, as always, proud to represent the University of Tennessee on the Believe Entertainment Network. I'm happy to be with you tonight because we were supposed to have a watch party last night, and there's a lot of construction going on at the front of our neighborhood, and the construction crews accidentally cut the fiber optic lines feeding internet into our neighborhood. So our entire neighborhood was out internet again last night, and thankfully it was fixed this morning, and so we are able to go live tonight. Obviously, a lot going on in Rocky Top Vol Nation. Women's team had 2 games so far this week. The men played last night. The women, we're going to talk about them a good little bit tonight. And then, obviously we got basketball and baseball having tremendous starts, and they get back. Both teams get back into action tomorrow. But I think we need to start with women's basketball because the title of this video are the Lady Vols on the bubble now? Well, I don't see how they couldn't be, especially if they don't win another game or two, they're definitely on the bubble. Ruston, what did you think about tonight? And really, in my opinion, tonight was an extension of what happened the last game. But you give your take, and then I'll give mine.
I mean, is it really any different than the entire season has been? It's the same issues over and over and over. It's roller coaster effort, 3 or 4 possessions in a row, play real hard, take 3 or 4 off. Probably the thing that was most disturbing tonight is their total lack of interest in playing on ball defense. One thing that they progressively had gotten better at is they were doing a better job playing on ball defense, and tonight they just let people blow right by them. They weren't even trying to guard them. It was a lot of mental weakness, low basketball IQ. I love Jada Civil, but God bless her. Why is she shooting a 3 with 52 seconds left? I don't care if you're open. You can't shoot. You have to realize that. You have to recognize that about yourself and go, why are you open? Because they know you can't shoot. And, she's got to recognize that and make a better decision. She's got to attack and kick to somebody who can shoot. There aren't many of them out there right now. But, she's got to penetrate and kick and find the one who can. And then the other thing is we're down 6, we're down 8 with less than 30 seconds left, and they're driving to the basket. Texas A&M had to be like, okay, have at. Go make your layup. We're good with that. The basketball IQ is so low. And they have got to, I said it almost a month ago. At the end of this season, they need to take a hard look at this entire roster and, in my opinion, eliminate about 8 of them and start over. They need to recruit toughness. They need to recruit shooters. You can't play a pressing up tempo 3-pointers first style if you don't have shooters. And we don't. We don't have hardly any. And the ones we do are inconsistent.
Or not in the game.
Yeah. And then that's the other thing that just really bothered me. You have a Tennessee girl who has dreamed her entire life of being a Lady Vol go out and have her absolute best game of the year, drop 16 and 9, play crazy good defense, work her tail off, showing leadership, holding others accountable, hitting shots. You reward her by starting her, which is good. She should have. In the first 2 minutes of the game, she had 2 points, a steal, and a rebound. You take her out and she plays 5 minutes the rest of the game. What on earth? Meanwhile, you've got Denia Prawl, who at some point is going to be a good player, but right now she is so soft. Like, that girl needs to live in the weight room the whole off season. She has got to get physically stronger. She gets bullied off the ball more than any kid I've ever seen at her size. She's got to get more physical. And she ain't going to hit a shot. Like, she's just not. So you got her out there for almost 20 minutes. You've got, Maya Paldo, which, I understand they're working Mia back. It's been a while. But Maya doesn't really give you much of anything. She's going to play hard. I appreciate that about her, but she doesn't deserve double the minutes Lauren Hurst got. It just
to your point, I was thrilled for Lauren that she got to start tonight. That's awesome, man. That's great. She did not enter the game at all in the second quarter. She literally did not step on the court that quarter, and she played very, like you said, very sparingly in the second half.
Did she get in the third? I don't think she played in the third either.
I think they might have put her in for like 20 seconds in the third quarter, if that. Here's my thing. I think you hit the nail on the head when you mentioned low basketball IQ. Prime example, and the reason that I'm saying that we can't really talk about tonight unless we talk about the game before that, because what we saw tonight was an extension of that game. And by what that I mean, in the last game, in the second half, Lauren Hurst got put in the game. She hit back-to-back threes on back-to-back possessions. Now, typically, when someone does that, you find a way to get the ball in their hands every time down the court, because clearly they're on fire. And you want them to have a heat check moment, and you want to keep feeding them the ball. What we did, what the Lady Vols did last game, Lauren hits back-to-back threes. We promptly stopped passing her the ball. I'm like, what are we doing? Throw her the ball, man. Let her shoot. And oh my goodness, like that is like basic, man. We watched an elementary basketball game that my daughter cheered at this year. And even those kids understood, man, that kid's on fire. Let's keep passing him the ball. It was bizarro world to me. Like I was sitting there watching that thing, and why is she not touching the ball? Why are we not running her off screens and hitting her with the ball every time down the court? And we went multiple possessions without throwing it to her. And then we saw some pretty poor basketball IQ tonight as well. Why in the world? We cut it to a 4-point game. They call timeout. They have that shot on TV of Denia Barker in the timeout huddle where she looks like she's about to like faint or pass out or something. And we come out of the timeout, and Denia promptly, very obviously, fouls the girl 57 to 60 feet away from the basket. Hadn't even crossed half court yet. I mean, why in the world? It wasn't forced. Like it was a pointless foul. And so here we are. We've just cut the lead to 4, and now we're immediately putting them on the free throw line so they can extend the lead unnecessarily. It's silly little things like that just drive you crazy watching this team. Denia Barker, listen, we wouldn't have been in the game if it wasn't for her. But then she comes down with like 3 minutes left and tries to do this over her head pass over 2 defenders to Z Spearman on the other side of the lane, had 0% chance of getting to Z Spearman. 0% chance.
Well, and even more than that, you got 29 points. Why are you passing?
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Have enough basketball IQ to look around you and go, nobody else out here can score right now.
Yep. So I'm very concerned. I really hope they make the NCAA tournament. Just so everybody knows, the only women's college basketball program in the country that has made every single women's NCAA tournament is the Tennessee Lady Vols.
They will.
That I hope they do.
I'm positive they will.
The only 10 you see, thank you so much for that super chat. That is very kind. Thank you so much. She said, just stopping by to show some love and say Evan's concerns earlier this season were valid. I appreciate that. I'm going to run through the comments real quick.
I'll give you 2 reasons why they're going to make the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
They're going to lose their final 3 games. That's going to happen. Everybody just needs to wrap their brains around that. That's going to happen. That'll make them 16-12 and 8-8 in the conference. 2 reasons they'll make the tournament. Number 1, teams who finish over or 500 or more in the SEC always make the NCAA tournament because their strength of schedule will make sure that they get in. Number 2, the NCAA women's basketball tournament does not make money. And so they will make sure that the programs who will sell and who will bring fans and who will help them break even will absolutely get in. The NCAA is not in the business of losing money. And so they will make sure that the teams who will bring big fan bases, spend lots of money, and will get eyeballs on TVs will be in the tournament. They will not put a mid-major who's a bubble team into the women's tournament because it doesn't make money like the men's tournament does. They have to have their money makers. So that's one reason why the Tennessee women have never been left out of the tournament, is because the tournament committee knows we can't lose money.
Well, and like you said, the name recognition of the Tennessee Lady Vols helps them. Like that is helping them right now for sure. Some of the comments come throughout. There's no way I'll be able to hit all of them out, but I love seeing y'all's comments. Let's see. David, we're glad you're here, buddy. He mentioned something about men's basketball, so we'll get to that here in just a second as well. Mississippi Vol, glad you're here, buddy. James James made a good point. He said, and I noticed it too, man. He said Kim made sure to shake the Texas A&M coach's hand. She okay. So Kim caught some, flack about how she shook the coach's hand last game because it was just like a little, very quick drive-by handshake, and she was gone. Tonight she stopped, congratulated the coach, patted her on the back, that kind of thing. Mr. Osborne, good to see you, buddy. He said, good evening, Vol Bros and chat members. I give credit for the Lady Vols fighting back in the fourth, but the first 3 periods were tough. I hope I'm wrong, but the Lady Vols NCAA streak is in jeopardy. Yeah, I hope it's not.
Here's the other reason why it's not going to happen. There's going to be at least 1, possibly 2 teams in the top 25 finish below Tennessee in the conference. Wherever that team is, just put a slot under their name, and everybody above them in the standings are all getting it.
That's a good point. And I'll give credit to the Lady Vols for coming back. They were down 17, and they battled back and made it a game at the end. So kudos to them for that. Richard is in Phoenix tonight. Glad you're with us, Richard. I hope you're having a safe trip out there and back. Hope you get to come home soon. David said they may need to win an SEC tournament game to get in.
I initially thought that, but then I looked at the numbers. They don't. They'll be I mean, they'll win their first round SEC tournament game because it's going to be a playing game against somebody they've already beaten. But the SEC is going to get 11 teams in the tournament, and at least two, maybe three of those are going to finish behind Tennessee in the conference. They're in.
Mr. Osborne said, if she doesn't make the tournament, is Kim on the hot seat? Yes. If the Lady Vols do not make the NCAA tournament, Kim Caldwell is immediately on the hot seat for next season.
I'm telling y'all, we can just stop that conversation. It's not happening. They're in. It's already done.
Several comments asking about Wes Rucker in the comments. So here's the thing. And thank you to Audrey Kaler for she messaged us a tweet from the Knoxville police. There was a multi-car accident on I-40 West today. This is from the Knoxville police. There was one fatality, unfortunately, in that accident. However, they say the identity of the deceased is being withheld at this time. So there are rumors that Wes Rucker is that person. That's all it is right now, is rumors. We hope they're not true. We hope. But the reality is someone lost a loved one tonight. There is someone who passed away. And, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with that family of that person for sure. Because it's just, you never know, man. You never know when your time is. And it's, so we hope Wes is okay. But our comfort to that family of whoever was, you know, fatally injured in that accident. Hill Vol fan said Lady Vol should be winning these games. They should. They should not have lost tonight.
Yep.
They played a sub 500 Missouri, or not Missouri team. That's the man. They played them next. They played a sub 500 Texas A&M team who was 3-9 in the conference. That was a terrible loss. Matt's with us. Hey, good to see you, Matt. Let's see. Jonathan's here. Good to see you, buddy. Rhonda's here. Good to see you too, Rhonda. Nolan's here. Good to see you, man. Waniak's here. Vols Titans 8 said our system isn't working or going to work. Effort is pitiful from these girls. I agree about the effort, no doubt. Let's see here.
Can I just make one other comment about this? Because I've been all night long, I've been seeing comments online about Molly Miller at Arizona State and how we should have hired her, all this garbage. First,
she's being very successful.
Sort of. So, first of all, Molly Miller did a decent job at Grand Canyon. She leveraged that to get an Arizona State job in a very mediocre conference. They started the season 11-0. In that 11-0, they played literally no one, not a soul. It was 11 cupcakes, easy wins. And all of a sudden, she was the second coming of Pat Summitt. Since they started conference play in a Big 12 that is average at best, Arizona State is 8-7. And they've only played 3 ranked teams. You know what the record is against those 3 ranked teams? 0-3. Last night, they got the crap kicked out of them by a slightly above average Iowa State team. Lost by 25. So everybody kind of needs to slow their roll on Molly Miller. Like, just because she had a cupcake schedule and because she's all about social media and she plasters her face out there all over the place doesn't mean that she can coach at a really, really high level against high level coaches. Because so far, every time she's faced a high level coach this year, they've lost, and they've lost big. So I would predict that Arizona State's going to be one of those teams that ends up getting like a 5 or a 6 seed, and everybody's going to be real excited, and then they're going to get smoked in the first round of the tournament, and everybody's going to go, wait, what happened? Yeah, that's who Arizona State is, and people need to just chill out on Molly Miller. She's a good coach. She's not a great coach.
Well, let's talk about the men's team because once again, they had a double-digit lead, squandered it a little bit, but kudos to them. They got it right back, and they went on a run in the game. I think they ended the game on like a 21-4 run or something like that, 17-4 run. Like they, yeah, I mean, that's an incredible end of the game there. So what do you think about the men? And now their next game isn't going to be any cakewalk, that's for sure. But what do you think about how the men did last night?
I mean, is there any doubt that Nate Ament has figured it out? When Kevin Durant got to the second semester at Texas, he became a closer. Like every time they needed a big shot, they were running isolations for him, and he carried him to the Final Four. It feels like that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a guy who is skyrocketing up the NBA draft boards. Like they're watching him in real time figure it out. And I mean, he just hits big shot after big shot after big shot, and he wants the ball. Like he's going down the floor,
you just nailed it,
looking for it. And when
they
play
from the beginning of the season,
when they play inside out and they attack the basket and then allow the perimeter to open up because of that, they're next to unbeatable. It's unbelievable how much better they are when they play inside out.
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, it opens up the space for Jacoby Gillespie to get a shot off when they kick it out to him, and they got people in, like Jalen Carey, dude could just physically manhandle people down there, and Diesel's right. I mean, if we get production from our bigs, Tennessee can beat anyone. It's only if JK and Ament, that's when they're not good enough against good teams. If those are the only two guys scoring. I mean, like Ruston said, when they play inside, when they get production out of the guys down low, if they do that in March, they're gonna go deep in the tournament. If those guys down low aren't scoring, that's a whole different team. The only 10 UC said the men will be fine, not worried about them at all. Deborah said, for anyone interested, Rock Media posted an all-inclusive tour of Food City Center with Estrella as the guide. It was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
James said, the real question is, will the softball Lady Vols go undefeated? They are really good.
This weekend they will.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. It's a long season. And weird things can happen on any given night, right? Like a ball could hit a rock or a pebble on an infield and kick the wrong way. I mean, like weird stuff can happen. So it's almost impossible to say a team will go undefeated. Do I think they're the best team in the country? Yes, I do. Because they're incredibly deep at pitcher and they can actually hit this year. So that's my take on that. So in regards to the men's team, I think you hit the nail on the head when they aim it. It is clicked, man. What you said about he's skyrocketing up NBA draft boards, that's what's happening. You're exactly right. Because they can see that it has clicked. At the beginning of the season, people are like, he's getting bullied. Like he can't figure it out. Like he's not big enough, tough enough. Well, that's changed. He's figured it out. And it's fun to watch. It's really fun to watch right now. The men are now taking way better care of the ball than they were earlier in the season. Unfortunately, that has not translated to the Lady Vols, but the men are taking better care of the ball. So it's exciting to see them succeeding. They got a really tough game against Missouri coming up. Missouri is not a cakewalk, so that's going to be if they beat Missouri, that's a good win. Anything else about basketball before we move on to our rank it segment?
I thought the interior play of Felix, Dwayne, and Jalen Carey did a really good job stepping up in JP's absence. Especially Felix. He was much more assertive offensively, and that was good to see. That will come back and help in March.
Well, and I'll tell you what, if we were doing a play of the game, when Dwayne Brown flashed to the high post, they hit him in the high post, he turned around and threw an oop to Akpara from the block. That was sweet, man. That was pretty sweet.
Well, and the give and go with Nate Ament to Dwayne Brown
yeah, absolutely.
For the dunk.
Absolutely.
Did you hear Rick Barnes's quote about that after the game? He said that he would love to draw that up as a set play, but if they ran it as a set play, they'd screw it up.
That's pretty good. The only 10 you see said tournament time, I think, will be in for a show from this team. Hope so. Diesel said Gillespie and Akpara defense starting to look good. That's a huge benefit. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Osborne said Nate Ament has really come into his own. It's been quite impressive. Vols basketball go as far as he can take them. With Jacoby and the rest of the team playing focus could be exciting. Absolutely. Matt said Akpara was excellent. Offensively also got 16 points, I think. Yeah. I mean, he had a great game. No doubt. James said, can we place bets on if Carey will get a technical against Vandy? So just in case you don't know, if you're watching this, Jalen Carey transferred to Tennessee from Vanderbilt, which is why James said this. Jonathan said the Let's Rank It segment was a crazy tough list to narrow down to 5. I agree. So just so everybody knows, I think I might do like a little intro thing to introduce this segment each time, like a little video, like or something like that. I don't know. It won't have that song, but I can guarantee that. We've had a lot of fun I think this is our 4th one we've done. We've had a lot of fun, ranking various things, and it's been awesome to see all the interaction. And so this week we said we were going to rank the top 5 athletes in the history of Tennessee athletics, University of Tennessee athletics. And that is not an easy thing to do. And so we gave everybody a week heads up on it. Do you want to give your list first, or do you want me to?
I totally forgot about it, so I probably don't need to go first.
Okay. All right. So here's my list. Number 5. Mr. Osborne said, sorry, I missed the 80s song one. Considering I know that decade well, I bet all the young folk had Journey way up there. Don't Stop Believing was on several people's. It was on my list. I think it was on Ruston's list too. I think it was the 3rd. I was number 3 on my list. Here's my top 5 athletes in Tennessee history. Number 5, Candace Parker. The reason being is she's a lady who dunked a basketball in a college basketball game. First girl ever in the history of women's basketball to dunk a ball in a game. You got to be a pretty daggum good athlete to do that if you're a lady. So she's number 5. Number 4, Todd Helton. Now, immediately people are going to be like, well, but he's not like maybe one of the top 5 best pure athletes. But here's my perception of that. Being incredibly talented and good in your sport is being an incredibly good athlete, because you have to be good at your sport to be a good athlete. The guy was obviously a two-way player at Tennessee in football and baseball. The only member of Tennessee athletics history to be in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. He played first base, pitched for Tennessee, 3 and 4 hole hitter. He's got to be on the list. So he is number 4 on my list. David said Michelle Snow dunked a ball before Candace did. I don't think so. I think I vividly remember all the hype over she was the first girl in a college game to dunk a ball. So I could be wrong. People can chat GPT it and find out. Jonathan said he tried to only do one player per sport on his list. That's cool. I didn't even think about that, but I almost did the same thing. Number 3, Peyton Manning. Now, listen, we all know Peyton's not the best, sprinter in the world, that kind of thing. He was certainly not a dual threat quarterback. Although I will give Eric Ainge credit. One time on the radio, he said, listen, I was a dual threat quarterback. I could throw it and I could hand it off to Arian Foster. So that was pretty good. But I mean, Peyton Manning is easily one of the top 2 best quarterbacks in the history of the game. He's the closest thing Tennessee has ever had to a Heisman Trophy winner. Should have won the Heisman. His numbers retired at the university. The guy, I mean, his mental acuity alone makes him one of the greatest athletes in the history of the sport. And so he had to be on the list. I have another football player above him at number 2, and that was Reggie White. The only reason Reggie is ahead of Peyton is because Reggie was just an all-around better athlete. The stuff that he did coming off the defensive line, dudes that big aren't supposed to move like that. That's the bottom line there. No one, who does that? Like, that's why he was a first ballot Hall of Famer in the NFL. The guy is incredible. When they had to make up rules in the NFL for what defensive linemen could and could not do because of what Reggie White was doing to offensive tackles, that shows you all you need to know right there. The guy was just a freak athlete and also Chattanooga boy. So we're Chattanooga boys as well. Shout out to the great Minister of Defense, Reggie White, number 2. But number 1, I have a tie. And one of them people might, argue with me about. The other one is clean, so that's all right. We have 2 people, Christian Coleman and Justin Gatlin. Justin Gatlin at one point tied the world record for the 100-meter dash. So at one point, Justin Gatlin was tied for the fastest human in the history of the planet at the 100-meter dash. That's a pretty good athlete, just saying. Christian Coleman, you could almost say, should be even ranked higher, but I have him tied because Christian Coleman set the world record in the 60-meter sprint. Now you think about that, what that means, the quick twitch you have to get off the blocks and up and running. So he set the world record and then he broke his own record. So he set it twice. So he was literally the fastest human in the history of the planet at the 60-meter dash. That's impressive. There was a lady in the 1980s, and I cannot remember her name. That's unfortunate. She was a Tennessee track star who set an a collegiate record, I think it was, for 60-meter hurdles. That's pretty awesome. So she's an honorable mention. She set that in 1984, I think it was. Can't remember. It was mid-80s. So that's my list. Number 5, Candace Parker. Number 4, Todd Helton. Number 3, Peyton Manning. Number 2, Reggie White. and tied for number 1, Christian Coleman and Justin Gatlin. What's your top 5, Rustin?
So I'll give an honorable mention to Dayton Bradshaw for being the most unathletic player in the history of the University of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And still being productive. So number 5, Willie Galt. There aren't many people in this world who can be big time NFL wide receivers, but also be world-class sprinters and hurdlers. That is very difficult to do. It's easy to find a track guy that can run routes. It's hard to find one that can actually catch the ball. So I've got him at number 5. At number 4, I've got Todd Helton, because it would have been impressive enough if he had been just a two-way guy in baseball. Being a two-way guy in college baseball is really hard. But he wasn't just a two-way guy. He was one of the best ever, both hitting and on the mound, and hitting to the point that, he's now in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. And, oh, by the way, if he hadn't gotten injured, he would have been the starting quarterback at the University of Tennessee for an entire season, which is absurd that a guy could do all of that. And, oh, by the way, people tend to forget he was one of the most dominant pitchers in college baseball history, and still to this day holds the record for consecutive scoreless innings at 47. Okay. At number 3, I've got I can't pronounce it. Jashea Sears. Jashea is the fastest woman in Tennessee track history. She is the second fastest 100 in the history of women's college racing. She also won a gold medal in the 4x100 at the 25 World Games. So fastest woman in Tennessee history has to be on there. And then 1 and 2, and you've got the fastest man alive in Christian Coleman, and he won a gold. And right behind him, you've got the second fastest man alive in Justin Gatlin, who won a silver that same year. And both of them beat Usain Bolt. It's hard to argue with those two at 1 and 2.
Yep. Absolutely. Some of the lists from the folks in the comments. Let's see here. Mississippi Vols said this one was impossible to narrow down. Just had to do the best I could. No particular order. Chris Lofton, Bernard King. Bernard King's a good choice. Candace Parker, Todd Helton, and Eric Berry. Eric Berry's a great choice. Let's see. James said, can't forget Justin Gatlin, Christian Coleman, track and field Olympians. Absolutely. David said number 5, Bernard King. Number 4, Reggie White. Number 3, Todd Helton. Number 2, Tamika Catchings. There you go. And number 1, Peyton. Rhonda said this was very hard to do. Mr. Osborne said, quick 80s from an almost 60-year-old. So he's going to give his list from 2 weeks ago. I love it. He said, Van Halen Jump. That's a great one. Michael Jackson Beat It. That's a great one. Duran Duran, Girls on Film. Prince, Purple Rain. Iconic. Journey, Any Way You Want It. Iconic. Let's see. Unchained by Van Halen as an honorable mention there. John said, I didn't put mine in order, but my top 5 are Justin Gatlin, Candace Parker, Todd Helton, Monica Abbott. That's a great choice. Reggie White, and I had 2 honorable mentions, Peyton and Derek Barnett. Those are good. Those are good ones. Deborah said, the dog ate my homework, but I agree with Evan. I appreciate that. Let's see. Tony said Candace Parker, Eric Berry, Bernard King, Chuck Webb. Hey, there's a good one. And Todd Helton, Reggie White. There you go. And a little bit later, he said, I want to add Monica Abbott to his list as well. Monica was kind of the first of her kind, right? Like Carlin Pickens is Carlin Pickens because Monica Abbott was Monica Abbott. Like she changed women's softball forever. I think it's a great choice. Let's see. James said Monica Abbott, the NCAA's all-time leader in wins, strikeouts, and innings pitched. She led the Vols to 3 straight Women's College World Series, and her number 7 jersey is retired. Great choice. Absolutely. Great choice. Diesel said Doug Atkins and Eric Berry are 1 and 2, and there's a big gap just based on athletic ability. You got to have Olympian sprinters on there too, though.
Yeah, when you have a gold medal at the Olympics and beat Usain Bolt, kind of hard to argue with that guy.
And he said Dale Carter was a freak also. Yeah, for sure. Dale Carter would be a great choice on this list. John said, I wanted to put Peyton on there, but he just wasn't athletic enough. I agree. I understand. If he could scramble any, I would have had him in my top 5.
Let's not confuse production with athleticism, because Peyton is not athletic.
Hey, he did have that one quarterback keeper rollout in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that was in Birmingham. Let's see. Rhonda said number 5, Peerless Price. I think that's a great choice. Number 4, Al Wilson. Number 3, Reggie White. Number 2, Candace Parker. And number 1, Peyton Manning. Very football heavy there for Rhonda. That's what I'm talking about. Nolan, great choice. Conridge Holloway, great choice. Oh, yeah. Nolan, I like this list.
I almost picked Conridge Holloway. He was near the top of mine.
Check out this list, though. Conridge Holloway, Cordero Patterson. That's a great choice. Yeah. Justin Gatlin, Reggie White, and Joshua Dobbs. Honorable mention to Yves Pons. That's a great choice. Elijah Simmons. Now, come on now, not that one. And Candace Parker. Yeah, I mean, all of those are great ones. I don't know about Elijah Simmons, but all those are really good. Cordero Patterson is a fantastic one.
He's just looking at a 300-pounder that can dunk. That's all he's paying attention to.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Rhonda said she could do a top 5 in every sport. Absolutely. When you mentioned Dane Bradshaw as the most unathletic, Diesel said, nah, the most unathletic is the current Auburn coach.
Unfortunately, Stephen Pearl might even have been more athletic than Dane.
When you mentioned Willie Gall, that reminded Tony of John Ward's famous call that Willie Gall is running all the way to the state capitol. That's what I'm talking about. Jeff said Willie Gall at Carlin Pickens. I think that's a great choice. Carlin, I mean, listen, she threw the fastest pitch in the history of the game of softball. And then she topped her own record and did it again, all in the same season. The fastest pitch in the history of the game of softball. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Twice she did that. Carl Pickens, great choice. Great choice. Peyton Manning and Todd Helton. Jordan, welcome, buddy. He said Candace Parker should have been top 2 for sure. Jeff said there were so many to choose. I just threw some names out there. Nolan said Ruston was spot on with my Elijah Simmons pick. When I see a 6'1", 360-pound man who can dunk, that's an athlete. There you go. There you go. That's hard to argue with. Absolutely. That is hard to argue with. Well, so next week is going to be, this week was tough. All right. This week was really tough. Next week is going to be tough again. Maybe not as tough as this one. Here's our rank 'em list for next week. Are you ready? Top 5 college football entrances. Top 5 college football entrances.
People are not going to like me.
There's a lot of good ones you can pick from. There's a lot of good ones. Mr. Osborne said his list for this week, no particular order: Condridge Holloway, Reggie White, the Coleman Gatlin combo there, Candace Parker, Todd Helton. Ooh, you read my mind. He said, but really, Shamiqua Holtzclaw, Dale Ellis. Dale's a good choice. That's a great choice. Bernard King, too many to mention. So I agree with Mr. Osborne. If we were ranking best Tennessee women's basketball players, number one on the list is Shamiqua Holtzclaw, in my opinion. She is the best women's basketball player in the history of Tennessee Lady Vols. And Candace Parker would say the same thing, because Candace did say that in an interview she had less than a year ago. She said Shamiqua was the best women's basketball player in the history of the program. So when I mentioned top 5 college football entrances, Jonathan said number 1 will be easy. I agree. But there's some good ones out there. There's some Sandstorm's good. Virginia Tech's good. I'm not personally a fan of Michigan's just run out, everybody hop up and touch the banner thing, but it's kind of iconic. There's a lot of good ones. James said we should do each sport, top 5 all time in each sport. We will get to that. The good news is that the beauty of this segment is it's evergreen. We could literally rank anything for the rest of the time that our show is on the interwebs. And so we could rank top 5 golf balls. Like we could rank all kinds of stuff. It's going to be great. Tony said, need to do the top 5 Tennessee coaches, just across the whole athletic department all the time. That's a great one, actually. I love that. Mr. Osborne said, got to be running through the tee for number 1. Rhonda said Shamiqua Holtzclaw is the leader in points scored. I think Ruston might have a different. Maybe I should have asked him if he wanted to do that one before I said we were going to do that one. Oh, James, you're the man. James said we need to do top 5 NIL court cases. Now, that's a good one. I like that. That's a good one.
I will go ahead and say, spoiler, Tennessee will not be my number 1.
Oh, controversy on the YouTubes. Well, I'm excited about next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have a top 3, number 4 and 5. I do not know which ones I'm going to pick. Diesel said top 5 birdies for Evan on the golf course. I don't know if I got 5 out there, man. I had a birdie last week. That was cool.
Does it have to be college?
I was playing on it, but if not, it can be NFL too, I guess.
Because there's a high school team. There's a high school team whose entrance would rival a lot of colleges.
Okay, yeah, you got to include that then. Nolan, that's a good one too. I got to write these down. Nolan said top 5 what ifs at Tennessee, like Nico, JJ Peterson. That's the ultimate one right there. And then he said John Gruden. Matt said Ruston is fired. David said top 5 Vols running back. Yeah, literally you can do anything. I am going to write that down though, the top 5 what ifs, because I like that idea a lot. Top 5 what ifs. I almost did. We're going to do it eventually, but like top 5 little Debbies, like that. We got to do that because we live in Chattanooga. Like we're contractually obligated, I think, to do that. Rhonda said, Evan, I only pay attention to our intro. I guess I better watch film. Yeah, I understand. I understand totally. Jonathan said Ruston needs to be fined for not having running through the tee at number 1. David said Lane Kiffin would be a what if on that one. I like that one. That would be a really fun one. Diesel said, does anyone know if we're still in the running to get the running? So what who's referring to is the running back at Baylor School. This year he had like 400 something rushing yards in a state semifinal game. It's crazy production from that kid.
It's us in Ohio State. Yeah, David Gabriel George. It's us in Ohio State. That's what it'll come down to.
Matt said top 5 favorite foods. We got a whole bunch of food ones we can do for sure. There's literally an unlimited supply of options for us for the rest of the time we're doing this show. So I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to change it. Top 5 football entrances. And that way the high school entrance can be included in there, because now I'm curious to know what he's going to say about that. So
I'll find a video.
Cool. That'd be good. So maybe we should do that for all of them. That'd be a good idea. I'll try to do that. Matt said he wants the Baylor running back so bad. Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. Well, we appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Nolan said top 5 podcasts. Honorable mention to the Vol Bros. Hey, I'm just glad to get an honorable mention on that list. Absolutely. Jonathan said we need a 90s song one as well. Oh, for sure. We will definitely do that. Absolutely. Nolan said, "Nah, y'all are number one." Hey, I appreciate that very much. Thank you. That's great. I love it. Well, we hope everybody has a great week ahead of you, or weekend. I mean, we will be. Deborah said, "Did you guys see the interview with Derek Jones? I was impressed." Yeah, I think it's going to be a very successful hire. He's obviously familiar with Jim Knowles. I think it's going to be a successful hire. Let's see. Just so you know, our watch party fan members, we are still planning on our watch party for Sunday afternoon, the Lady Vols game, and then Sunday night we will be live at our regular time. We'll have a whole lot to talk about Sunday night, because we'll have a baseball series, we'll have softball to talk about, we'll have Lady Vols and men's basketball to talk about. There's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about on Sunday night. So we look forward to seeing everybody then. John said, "Great show as always." Hey, we appreciate that so much. He said, "I'll see everybody Sunday night." Go Vols, baby. And we appreciate all y'all so much. We hope you have a phenomenal weekend, and we look forward to seeing everybody. Nolan said, "What if Butch Jones played Alvin Kamara more than 10 snaps a game?" Man, you might have just got the ultimate one right there. That's a good one. We appreciate everybody. We'll see everybody really soon. Have a great, great weekend.